And you know what? It seems that constantly we come back to, it's kind of like the movies. We kind of have to regurgitate the same topic over and over and over again. But David and I actually literally wish there was something else and somewhere else that we can go with what seems to be the same old topic in just a different suit, different skirt, different blouse, different polo, different city. But the rules aren't equally applied to both parties. And I mean that on all levels. I mean, there's always the upper class, the middle class, and the lower class. And the rules for each of these subsects are normally the same. But we know it's really not. And I think this is a story that if you listen to the editorial part of the media, you would get one part of it. But if you just open the door just a little bit and do a tad bit of Googling, you're going to find out that this story is the same old story like Romeo and Juliet once again. David, how's that for an intro?
Well, you could go in so many directions. So, ladies and gentlemen, in case you haven't heard, about 5 days ago, Kevin McCarthy officially announced that Representatives Adam Schiff, Eric Swalwell, and Ilhan Omar were stripped off their committee assignments. And of course, the political wrangling that goes and is unbelievable. And it just amazes me. While the Democrats were in power, Nancy Pelosi did the same thing, and that's okay because she's protecting the American people. And McCarthy stands up and just says, "Hey, listen, I have a reason, folks. Here's the reason. Okay. Well, Hakeem Jeffries might say they're all qualified for their roles. And he sent this beautiful, touching letter that could be used for toilet paper to Kevin McCarthy. He says there's just no way. So Swalwell had a relationship with a suspected Chinese spy. Apparently, that didn't make a difference. And he was boasting the fact that he was on the Intelligence Committee and had all this information and was boasting about it and then spun lies. If Schiff, who is continuously lying to the American people about the Russian collusion with Donald Trump, it's been completely dispelled, and he's still spewing it, including on an interview yesterday on CNN with these other two representatives crying on CNN why they got thrown off the committee. And my favorite one, one of my favorites in the squad, because they're all my favorite in one form or another, Ilhan Omar, who decided that because she's Muslim, that's why she was thrown off the committee. Once again, the famous tropes, the famous lies, the famous spinning of the truth is done again. And CNN, rather than challenging it, criticizing them, that's what they do. Oh, you poor representatives, you're right. You shouldn't be taken off these committees. How dare they? Listen, McCarthy has the right on the Intelligence Committee because it's a special select committee. He has the right to pick and choose whomever he wants. On a special normal committee, it actually is the Democrats that provide a list of representatives whom we want on this. And it's their right to put Omar on there. It's just, to me, an indictment to Hakeem Jeffries, who's showing his true colors, that he is anti-Israel and anti-Jewish. We've known this. This isn't, news to anybody. Putting Ilhan Omar to stay on the Foreign Relations Committee. To me, Stuart, this is once again Democratic hypocrisy. The Republicans hitting them back with the same thing that they've done for the last 4 years. And yet the media, instead of calling it out what it is, calls out McCarthy for siding with the caucus that put him in as speaker. Stuart, as they say in French, ça pue. It stinks once again in the American Congress.
Yeah, Pepe Le Pew is definitely showing his ugly head. In fact, I think we used that image way back in the beginning as we get to our second anniversary. David, ayin tachan ayin, eye for an eye, is what the Dems are yelling and screaming. But when the Dems go and do it, it's okay. You're right, David. There is a double standard. One party does it, the other doesn't. But both media networks don't ask the hard punching questions and continue to pound to get it. The CNN episode that you're referring to that aired over the weekend, I do applaud the CNN reporter in part by asking the question. I give the guy a failure on holding the politician accountable for the answer. It's like, David, what color is your background? And you go to me, the sky is blue. Politicians are famous for doing this. However, the reporters or the editorialists are failing to go, David, no, I'm sorry. Thank you for the update about the sky. Please tell me the answer about the background and continue on and say that the weather is cold in Montreal. So the issue is the qualitative part of reporting, not the contextual part of the reporting. Because contextually, it's all been skewed. But, again, as I go with the same comments over and over and over again, if you Google and run all of our broadcasts, good for me, not for thee, rules for thee, not for me, double standards, David, they appear in 98% of every broadcast we've done 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, noon, Eastern. In these broadcasts, David, hang on, let me rant. I'm ranting. Omar should be called out for saying, do you support the Palestinian government? Do you condone Hamas? Do you condone? And just call the witch for what it is. She's not just a Muslim. I don't think anyone has a problem with a Muslim, as I don't have a problem with a Catholic, a Christian, a Protestant. Hey, man, if you like elephants and dogs, you're okay too. Just really, maybe I got a little too far. But
yes,
Omar, AOC, they've just gone too far. And you know what? They deserve to get kicked off of it. And you're right. McCarthy is just doing what he is entitled to do.
But here's the thing, and here's the fetching and the whining that continues to perpetuate. What does Adam Schiff do? Adam Schiff, when he was thrown out. What did he? No. What did he do? He went on TikTok to talk about this. If you're on the Intelligence Committee,
wait a minute. TikTok.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to get at. You were just told it's been banned because it's a Chinese spy mechanism, and you went on TikTok to whine to your constituents. It just shows where your intelligentsia is.
Well, he called Russian collusion. I think Adam Schiff is Chinese propaganda.
Listen, he continues to say that the only reason he's thrown off is because he needs Marjorie Taylor Greene's vote. He needs Paul Gosar's vote. Otherwise, he wouldn't be Speaker of the House. And it's like, again, let's spin this around. Because Schiff claims, he goes, I was very effective in exposing McCarthy's conduct, Donald Trump's conduct, and that's what they're trying to stop. Adam Schiff has done nothing but throw the United States under the bus, okay? Ilhan Omar has not only thrown the United States under the bus, she's promoted Hamas and other terrorist groups higher than Americans. And this is the individual that the Democratic Party wants on the Foreign Relations Committee. To me, this is what
she's a model citizen. She blames America for being bad. She hates her country that she lives. And you know what, David? I think we've gone so far. No, actually, she should go back to where she came if she really thinks
you know what? I actually disagree with you. And by the way, I keep saying it's wrong. It's the House Foreign Affairs Committee. I think Ilhan Omar loves the United States because the United States gave her a chance, a woman. Because if she goes back to where she was originally from, this would not be possible. She got an education. She got elected. She's making money. She's on television in a positive quote unquote way. She loves the United States, but crapping on the United States is her mantra. And if this is what the Democratic Party believes is the correct presumption, the correct way that Americans want to be represented, It just shows you that the Democrats are not interested in listening. And we ranted about this a few weeks ago. She's from Somalia. And you know what? I'm glad that she's a Muslim. I'm glad she's in Congress. I know many Muslims. They're wonderful people, but she hates Israel. She hates the United States in terms of her rhetoric. She likes to spew anti-Semitism. She thinks that this is the way to go. She goes, I apologized. I owned up to it. But then you repeated it again. That's like a child that says, you know what, I'm sorry, but I'm really not sorry because I'm going to repeat my actions again. But just to satisfy you, I'm just going to say I'm sorry. These three people should be nowhere near these committees. I am sorry. I don't care, Republican or Democrat. If you are on the the Intelligence Committee, the first thing they tell you is shut up. Discretion, secrecy. And yet, if you're going to go on TikTok, to me, I don't get it. And if you're going to go and spew lies or sleep with a Chinese spy, okay?
Well, alleged Chinese spy.
I don't care. Alleged nothing. You want to know what? I'm sorry. And when you bring in Elon Omar, and I know it's not for McCarthy to make the call. There is a vote, there's a process, and this and that. But it just shows you that instead of Omar saying, listen, I screwed up here, this is what I can bring to the table and make it better. Instead, she accuses McCarthy of being a racist. She accuses the Republicans of being racists because they don't want Muslims in power. That is such Democratic spin. And to those of you who are Democratic lovers, who have the rose-colored glasses, listen carefully to your representative, one of the 200 and some Democratic representatives who once again only spews lies about racism. Give me a break that it's the kettle calling the pot black. This is hilarious. And so I'd love to see all three of them tossed out. And I know you say the rules for thee and not for me, and I get all that, Stuart. But this is a great example how the political system is a colossal failure. Because instead of calling it for what it is, we would rather have sound bites in a media scenario to put on our TV station rather than do the right thing. The Democrats and the Republicans are equally guilty, but this time the pie's in the Democrats' face.
Yep. A nice rockaberry banana cream pie, but I really don't want to waste it on such a wasteful person.
Not on her.
David, we got an exciting week ahead because you know what? I think we're both around all week long.
But you know what, Stuart? And I got to tell you, there's never enough news, right? And some weeks it's quieter. And this weekend, we've heard a lot of noise. And, your people are wondering maybe why we didn't talk about other topics. Folks, we're getting there. Okay. But this is the one topic that it's just fascinating. And part of our mantra here is to call out where we should be calling out. And it's not like we're picking Republicans over Democrats and vice versa, although we've been accused of being overly conservative, which apparently is a dirty word. What we are saying here is that the political systems on both sides of our borders are so broken. It's unbelievable. And the media has played a tremendous part in destroying our political system for their gain. And you know what, guys? Elections, unfortunately, in the United States are not until 2024. And I'm hoping to have one here to finally eradicate ourselves of this colossal destructive government. But folks, this is where votes are so critical. And people have walked away from the ballot box saying they won't vote. Do you understand how important your vote is? You understand now why we need the right people in place. We need to hold them accountable on social media, everywhere else. Folks, it's on us, and this is what this rant is all about. And with that, Stuart, we should call it a Monday. I think everybody needs to go back to work. And unless you listen to this on a recording, we wish you a wonderful rest of whatever that you are in your day. Again, we are now thousands and thousands of downloads and people listening to us all over the world on all of the blog sites. Please note our website will be revamped very soon. We are about to relaunch it with a whole new feel and a new look. But ladies and gentlemen, spread the word, spread the love. We appreciate you. Have a great day. Say goodbye, Stuart.
Goodbye, Stuart.